Hi everyone, Dalton with Idaho Esports. Just going to show you guys a quick kind of how-to in terms of getting a match up and going, including checking it. This will have a little pause, as I'll have to go and check in the other team just for demonstration purposes. So what we're going to do is I'm on app.leagueos.dash, or sorry, .dg/dash. This is kind of where all of my teams live. This right here is where I could go in and register my teams for things, but right here I'm going to go to your school. If you're like me and you have multiple schools, you can go to switch school and it'll list your different schools available to you. So I know that today is not really, but today I have my Overwatch team is playing, so I'm going to go into my Overwatch team. Sometimes this doesn't select IEA by default, and what this allows is it allows for you to be in multiple leagues playing at the same time. You can see here that we had a game at some point. However, what we're going to be looking at is this made-up match that we have today against Bishop Kelly. So you can see Idaho Esports Association, example. It says it's today at 12:45. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right over here to comms. And what comms does is it gives you a spot to communicate with the other team, and it gives you a spot to kind of do all of these things. So what I'm going to do is it's about 15 minutes. 15 minutes to 30 minutes is kind of how we set our check-in times. You can go and check in your team. So you go right up here to where it says check-in team. I'm going to click check-in. And I'm going to select my players that are playing today. I have to select at least 5 because we're playing in Overwatch. So I don't know. I'm just going to choose 5 of the guys. I'll delete this later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I like to put myself as coach just so that they know. And then I go over right here to where it says ready. So you'll see right here, it says waiting on the other team. So it's going to wait for the other team to be ready before it can kind of move on. I can do a match chat. I can put, hey, please note that I recommend that only coaches and captains are the ones that are doing this. You can see that check-in team is still here. However, they're already selected. This is if we're suddenly going to switch out ranch for Crowans. You can kind of make that hot swap right there. All right, I will be back in a second once I go and check in Bishop Kelly. All right, and I'm back from going and checking in Bishop Kelly. You can see right in here that it says all teams are ready. So both teams have checked in their players. And what we do is we go ahead and we go to start match. Who's playing in game 1? So you could check in all your players saying, hey, all of these guys are eligible today. And what this will allow you to do is just kind of like, hey, who's playing in game 1? So that then whenever you sub people out, we can see, hey, who was playing. So I'm going to leave it as is. I right now have permissions on this, so I can check this in. I don't believe regular coaches can do that, but this should be like this. You can still see that you can still see some of your match chat. It is a little bit hidden if you, let's see here. I can't remember. We're going to work on making this so it's scalable. But the big thing is, yeah, you can see a little bit of the match chat. You can scroll up and down if I had more. And what we could do is we can go, we're at lineups right now, and we can go to game results. Hey, what was the score? I don't know. I'm just going to make them score. 1-2. It's a close game in Overwatch, and we were the winner. Okay, cool. If you wanted to, this is where you would also input player stats for game 1. I really recommend it if you have the time. There is a system in place for Overwatch. We'll kind of cover that more at a later time if you have an interest. And then roles and heroes that people chose. Just kind of gives kind of some background. And especially if coaches are looking at, hey, this is what we did, this is how we went against. It's really helpful. Both college and high school. And then, okay, so we finished this first game. Cool. And it is now time to go to game 2. Who's playing? Again, you're selecting who you have playing, and then you go right here to game results. What were the game results? And then, okay, we did all that. Now we're in game 3. I probably should have put a score in for game 2. Game 2 is, let's see. Let's go 3-4 because Sandpoint's just awesome. And then we say, okay, yep, Sandpoint was the winner. You can put in map information, so that just kind of helps us know, what everyone likes to play. And then we go to game 3, and again, we choose, hey, this is who's playing. And Bishop Kelly put, hey, this is who's playing. And you go right here to game results, and you put in the score. So, like, whatever. You'll notice right here that there's 2 question marks. These 2 question marks say they're not necessarily necessary. So if Sandpoint won again, you wouldn't need to go on to those further games because it's a best of 5. It even has right here what type it is. It's a best of 5. So the team that wins 2 or 3 first wins. You can even do forfeit of individual games with this little button right here. And so we can make Bishop Kelly win. This is Flashpoint, so 3-2. Select that they were the winners. And then, see, game 4 is now visible to say, hey, we need to play a game 4. You fill in the information, you do the game results, and if Bishop Kelly wins again, I can't remember what mode this is right now off the top of my head, 3-2 again, Bishop Kelly wins, game 5 becomes available. Now, let's say I had this wrong. So Bishop Kelly actually didn't win this. We actually didn't even play this one. I'm just going to leave everything to 0. Click the little X, go back to game 3. I messed everything up. It should have been Sandpoint got 3 and Bishop Kelly got 2. Just switch our winners. And hey, okay, so we've done all 3. And Sandpoint won all of them. So you go right over here to where this little checkered flag is. You click it, and it tells you, hey, this is what the review was, or this is what the matches were, this is what happened, this is who the winners were. And you'd go right here to where it says match finished. Now, if you are disputing something, you would go right here to dispute results. That flags us saying, hey, just so you know, something isn't right. And so what you're going to do is, hey, yep, match is finished. And this is even if you've lost, you should go in and you should go and click like the, yeah, this is the right score type thing. The big thing if you've lost is you want to make sure that your opponent is putting in the score correctly, because in a tiebreaker situation, the amount of points that you took against opponents does potentially have a factor, especially in things like Super Smash Bros. The number of stocks that you took against your opponents does apply in a tiebreaker situation. So make sure you're scoring everything correctly, and you're more than welcome to reach out to us if you need help in what that scoring should look like. Hopefully, this was a helpful example for you guys on how to put or check in and also move on through the game.